Hey, what is up guys? MKBHD here, and I have seen the Red Hydrogen smartphone/camera system prototype, and now in this video I'm going to share it with you. So up until now, visually, we've only had one image, this one render to base all of our thoughts on the design off of. And that's great and all, but Jim from Red wanted to show me what they've been working on and wanted to dispel any myths that they're not working on anything. So that's a win for me, a win for you guys to get this video, and a win for Red to actually show you something. So they had a couple prototypes to show me. One was a fit and finish prototype with all the final materials and dimensions and the exact look that they're shooting for. Number two was a prototype just with the working holographic display, and then one more prototype which I'll show you guys at the end. I took a look at all of them, but I really focused in on the fit and finish materials prototype because that's exactly what they intend the final project, the thing that you buy, to look like. And it looked like this. So yeah, right off the bat, pretty intense. A lot of materials going on. You have a really industrial looking tri-panel design. Looks kind of like a Moto Z had a baby with a tractor. Like it's this part rugged, part modern look. And I really kind of like it. The middle part is metal, and this logo cut out with what feels like a jewel with the red logo in it is pretty crazy. And the top and bottom parts are Kevlar panels, which is good for antenna pass-through and of course durability when you're using it as an actual phone. And then on the sides, you have these grips, these notches like you saw in the render. It doesn't feel too weird to hold, but of course, I obviously have pretty big hands, so this natural fit for me might not be the case for everybody. I used the phones I had with me for a little bit of a size comparison, and as you can see, it's a big phone. This Hydrogen is gonna have a lot of room for some serious internals with a footprint this big. I still fit it in my pocket. There didn't seem to be any real problems, but obviously this will turn into a two-handed phone for a lot of people. And then the camera bump on the back, definitely more of a placeholder than an indicator of what the module will actually look like on the inside, but it's still pretty big. Definitely couldn't tell that from the render photo. And then the button placement is solid. Power button on the right-hand side, which will also be flat and double as a fingerprint reader, kind of like Sony phones. And then the volume buttons are separated on the left-hand side, which they probably have to be because of all the notches and ridges for the grips. And then it also has a dedicated video record button, and you can probably, of course, take photos with it as well. USB Type-C at the bottom, and we also see a headphone jack down there, but they're actually planning to move that up to the top. And then at the front, there's front-facing speakers, a pair of them, likely a stereo pair, flanking what will be a 5.5-inch super high-resolution display. And yeah, those pins at the bottom of the back, as you've probably already noticed, very reminiscent of the Moto Z, because they will end up being used for the same essential purpose, snap-on mods that add to the functionality of the phone. Then like I said, this fit and finish prototype has all of these final materials and everything, but it doesn't have a working display. For that, they had a second prototype just with the holographic display. And let me tell you, I wasn't allowed to show this, and it wouldn't have really translated that well on video anyway, but what I can show you is my reaction to seeing it for the first time. So they showed me some content that was shot like normal in 2D and then converted to 4View for this crazy deep sort of 3D look. And there's also content that was shot for this view. And I gotta say, if my reaction isn't strong enough, trust me, I was just kind of at a loss for words, just soaking it all in, but I was pretty impressed. It definitely wasn't perfect, and it had some quirks like light bleeding around the outside of the display and some stuttering when I messed with some 4View gaming stuff, but this was a prototype, and this will just keep getting better with time and hopefully be buttery smooth and seamlessly integrated by the time it launches next year. And also, if you end up not liking it, you could just never turn it on because it has a regular 2D mode that looks fantastic as well, just like any other normal smartphone. So just as a pure smartphone, this Hydrogen is looking really interesting. Obviously, it has these rugged looks and these unique features. Probably doesn't have things like wireless charging, probably doesn't have waterproofing, but again, it's a unique feature set and a unique price for obviously a unique user. And then, as a pocket cinema camera, Hydrogen is actually even more interesting. So Jim made it clear that he feels that this can and will be the future of small form factor cinema. And I mean, you can see that being true with as good as Red stuff already is, and this Hydrogen system being helium based, it should also have incredible video quality and should outperform other mirrorless cameras and small DSLRs in an even smaller package. In fact, that's what Jim said, is the quality should only really be surpassed by Red's bigger cameras. And the pins and magnets module system is pretty intense. I can't really describe it too much because obviously, number one, they're prototypes, and number two, a lot of it is still under development and confidential. But think of it as like Moto mods on steroids. Same idea with adding functionality to the device, But remember that last prototype I told you about in the beginning of the video? Well, that's what that was. So this is what that could look like. And as you can see, attaching a module specifically for adding a sensor and a lens mount can already make this look pretty serious. So that for now is all I can show, but apparently in the next 30 to 45 days, they said they'll have an actual prototype with both the fit and finish and the holographic display in the same body. But what you just got from this video is a quick world exclusive at something that Red's working on that they wanted to share with you guys. So there you have it. What do you think? Is that enough to justify pre-ordering a $1,000+ smartphone or mini pocket camera or whatever else these things might do? Let me know. Hopefully there'll be more information to come, but until then, that's been it. Thank you for watching. Talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.